awesome, man.
Yeah, so I bought a painting from Michael, and I wanted to show everyone on the podcast. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, so I'm gonna do a little unboxing.
Do a
Awesome.
full
of the
unboxing.
cast.
Oh, snap.
Clap your hands once, clap your hands twice. Now is the time for the news to hear it comes.
All right, perfect, man. Do you guys see Lil Uzi Vert?
Oh
He
yeah,
got the diamond in his head. $24 million. That's crazy.
that's
That
so
is
gnarly.
nuts.
I
And,
gotta say, I feel like if you're gonna put a rock in your head, you probably should pay about that much.
It seems about right.
I don't think you
real.
should probably skimp on that.
No, yeah, you gotta pay full price.
Yeah, better
No-
have
no
like some like
discount.
sorcery stuff, some magic.
Yeah, right.
Just gotta have something to put that huge thing in your fucking head.
Dude, for real. And he posted a picture after, and his like forehead was bleeding. And he was like, "I have to get this professionally taken out." And I was like, "Yeah, obviously.
Oh my god.
You can't try and take that out yourself." I was like, "That's ridiculous."
Yeah.
I wonder how long he can like wear that for. Like, I feel like any scrunch of the forehead could like mess it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't even get my ears pierced without them getting infected, so I
yeah,
can imagine forehead.
for
Right,
real.
the forehead.
That's like literally like the worst. Like you're just always in the elements,
Right.
like sweating, like shows. Just think of shows, like all these shows, just sweating, beer being thrown at them.
Yeah.
You know, just
Right.
everything.
I'll say I low key got my forehead pierced. I don't know if the camera quality's good, but I have a scar right here. I think I was in like first grade, and
Yeah.
it was like bedtime. So my mom's like trying to get me to bed, and I'm just not doing. I'm just playing around, having a good time. But I was like jumping off of her bed onto these like this pile of like blankets and stuff. So I was just doing that. She's getting upset because I'm not listening to her. And then finally I jump, and like the way I land, I kind of like knock out for a second, and I walk into the like kind of get up, and I walk into the bathroom, face just covered in blood. I have this huge hole in my head. I guess there's like this weight thing under the blanket, so when I came down and hit my head, took me out. Yeah, and that was for free. That wasn't for 24 million.
Shit, bro. So today we got a special guest. His name's
Yes.
Michael. He's an artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's Nero? Is that
Yeah,
your
yeah.
name?
So I had to create basically like an artist name because my dad is also like a very like a really successful painter, like where I'm
Okay.
from.
Oh,
So like we're pretty much in the same exact field and we have the same name. We're both Michael Otenero. So he was like, you pretty much have to create like an artist name. So I just chose like the last four letters of my last name because like they mean black in Italian, which is like where
Alright.
I'm from. So like it like
Oh.
yeah, just and it like kind of goes with all my art. All my art's kind of dark and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
And you said you're from Italy, you said?
no, my family is.
Family.
I was born here, but like the only people that have my last name like are either directly related to me, like in the United States, or they live in Italy. So like we're like the only ones here. I'm from
Nice.
Pittsburgh, like Pittsburgh, PA.
From Pittsburgh? Nice.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
some family out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
out there. But yeah, I'll say I'm Italian too.
yeah.
Yeah, I think more northern Italy.
Yeah,
I think
right.
that's when I did my ancestry. I think that's what I got back. So wherever that is, I'll have to dive deeper into that. But that's
Yeah.
so.
Oh
Yeah, I did some traveling there a little bit ago, and it was amazing. Pretty much like life changing, like really formative to my art and stuff like that. So
Oh, wow. Yeah, I need to get out there as well, especially after I saw like all that flooding that happened. I think this was like beginning of last
Oh.
year. I think that was more in Venice though.
Yeah, Venice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, shoot, I need to get out there before it's the next one, Atlantis
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever. Get sunk,
Going under.
yeah. Going under.
Yeah, dude, Venice is amazing. Did you go? Have you been in Venice?
I went to.
Like, where'd you travel?
I didn't go to Venice. I went to Florence, Rome, and Pompeii. We were only there for like a week or a week and a half. I can't remember.
Yeah, the Vatican City is something else, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
crazy. Yeah,
it's
interesting too because it's like it's not technically like part of Italy. It's like its own like
city.
thing.
Yeah.
Like they're like self-governed. Like they don't have to follow any rules that they don't want to. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of they get away with like a lot of stuff there.
Oh yeah, definitely not religion. That's definitely a cult.
Yeah.
That's not. It's so funny. Like, oh yeah, guys, I know God. No, you guys are God. Like, you guys created your own heaven on earth, and only certain people can join. That shit's so crazy.
Yeah,
that's another level.
You have to fill out the app and everything just to get there, get approved. The background check,
lashings.
That movie you guys had us watch was pretty crazy.
The little things, yeah. That was
the ending was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
right. Kind of.
I wasn't expecting that. I guess it's really unresolved on like who the killer is. Like you don't know at all.
You kind of keep it. It's just you work it out in your head. So for the people who watch this, the movie we picked was The Little Things that Denzel Washington and Jared Leto, and I forget the other actor's name.
Rami Malek or something like that.
He's good at even in that he reminded me of Freddie Mercury because I mean he played
100%.
Like, I don't think he's gonna ever escape that role.
No, that was his best role of all time.
Right.
Yeah.
But pretty good movie. And I like how HBO Max is doing this whole Warner Bros. Thing. So or like having all the Warner Bros. Movies on there. So should be a good year. Get to stay home and watch the sports. Yeah, I saw
King Kong versus Godzilla is gonna be on there too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, dude, I'm so stoked.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, me too.
That's literally like the reason I got HBO Max.
Yeah,
just for Teeny King Kong
yes.
Godzilla. One of the other episodes we were talking about how big Godzilla is. He's like a walking nuclear plant, right? Against a little ape guy.
But he's got like a weapon now. King Kong is a weapon. If you saw the trailer, he has some kind of like axe or something like that. I don't know. I thought
a weapon. What?
That part where he like jumps at King Kong, he's like holding something in his hand that's like glowing. I don't know.
Okay. And supposedly in the King Kong movie, he was a baby. And so I'm assuming this is years after. So now King Kong's big because like you said, Adam, me and you were talking about like the size difference is crazy, but I guess he's up to size now. Like
he's up to size now? Okay.
My dad was really into like all the old monster movies. So like I totally watched like the original King Kong, all the old Godzillas where it's like a dude in a suit walking around stepping on stuff and like throwing like people in other suits like across the room and stuff like that. But like it just doesn't really make sense like if you're talking about those ones how they could ever fight each other because it's like like a nuclear weapon versus like just a monkey, you know? Like, it doesn't really make sense, but
Godzilla just kicks him.
Yeah.
Movie's over.
Yeah. Right. So that's it. I know we're talking about like him scaling Godzilla or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah, just him scaling him the whole time in the IMAX area. Just him. You can't even see Godzilla. Just his back. And the warts on his back. Just
should be interesting though. I'm excited to see that one. That should be a good one. And then we got the Snyder cut of the Justice League coming out as well. I think in March. Zack Snyder. It's gonna be 4 hours long. I was like, sheesh.
What?
That's gonna be.
Count me out.
Yeah, count me out. You lost me there. It should be good.
It's hard to keep my attention that long.
Yeah, that long. Yeah, 4 hours. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm pulling out my phone every.
Yeah, right.
But supposedly what happened was because Zack Snyder originally was filming Justice League, but I think his daughter passed away. So they brought on a new director. So he was, handling that. And then they brought on a new director, and that's the Justice League we got. And I guess when everyone heard about Zack Snyder's cut, it just became a thing. So he came back on and did it. So hopefully it should be pretty good.
Hell yeah. So dude, how'd you get into painting? Did you just like follow your footsteps or whatever? Like your dad's footsteps?
Both my parents are artists. And I would say like they never really like they didn't like force me into making art at all. But they like definitely encouraged it. I mean, like whenever I was a kid, like I wasn't allowed to have like coloring books or anything like that. Like they would just give me sketchbooks. So I feel like I kind of got like an advantage there as far as like instead of just like coloring things in, I was like just drawing from my own imagination, like from the beginning kind of thing.
Oh,
I mean I've been drawing, painting pretty much my whole life, and I don't know, people kind of like send me like constantly send me DMs on Instagram, just kind of like asking like how long will it take to create art that I like, basically, or like this is them speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I have to make stuff every single day, but it's not like I'm forcing myself. Like if you feel like you're forcing yourself, I feel like it's not really for you. I don't know.
yeah, 100%.
If you really enjoy it, like you should feel like you should have to like an incessant kind of need to make art. I don't know. Maybe that's just like me speaking from my own experience, but like I don't know, if I don't make something for long enough, it like drives me crazy for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about you on the last episode because it was really inspiring when I saw your dad's studio.
Right.
I was like, dude, that is so sick. I mean, that's where I bought your art piece because I was just like, first of all, that's fucking sick what your dad's doing, and then you are just at the same fucking level. So, and we were talking about how like it must like the grind of just creating art like as your job. It's you don't want to stay out of it too long, right? No. But you also need to do it because I know that feeling too. Like sometimes I just have to like do a podcast when like it comes to podcast, like 1 or 2 podcasts a week. Like I have to. If I don't, I feel like we like kind of lose our momentum.
Yeah, momentum is a big thing. I mean, I feel like, and if you don't create something for long enough, it feels like pressure or something like that, like building up inside of you, or you need that outlet for sure.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of like how you're saying, growing up and draw, like I draw a bit too. I mean, unfortunately, I just kind of started, like you just saying, like kind of just starting losing that momentum and not drawing as much, and kind of getting not frustrated with it, but just kind of putting it aside. But that's how I started. It just kind of like I would just draw stuff. I'll look something up on the internet and then kind of draw. Like I was like, whether it's like video game characters or anything like that, just kind of like try to grow from that and try to draw from, just from what I was seeing, and almost just self-taught at that point. So I was definitely, I think now, like I knew beginning of this year, I was like, it's something I want to get back into. So I definitely, want to get into like some classes and learn stuff. But that's dope. Yeah, that's what you're saying. When people DM you, do you have more, is that, like, so if someone asks you for a piece or something like that, do you usually give them like a certain time frame, or is it just stuff that you've already done and people are interested in?
It's a good mix. I mean, a lot of time people are just like messaging me, like just like personal stuff or whatever. But whenever they're messaging me about like buying something, I mean, it's usually like that same day. Like I'll post something and then someone will message me and be like, how much is this? Like, can I get, or a couple people will message me, and then like you can kind of like, it's kind of uncomfortable, like having to tell people how much your art is, because like it's so personal that it's not like you're selling like a product where it's like if someone's like, I can't, like that's too much for that, like I can't buy it. It's not like a product. It's like you're selling like a piece of yourself,
right?
And you know what I mean? It's like very personal. So whenever like, I don't know, whenever you tell someone like how much it is, it's like very uncomfortable to tell someone that. But also like, I feel like in my experience, it's been like everyone has been like super kind and nice, and like it's honestly really shocking because I didn't really expect it to be like this. I kind of expected a lot of people to be like just kind of like meaner and shittier on the internet, like the rest of the internet.
You suck.
Yeah,
right? Like
find a new job.
Horrible. Just stop, right? That's
burning all down.
We get in our heads too. We think what people are gonna say, and I think that's what took me a long time, even with like podcasting, just like so worried about what other people are gonna think, and then once you just get past that, you're like, you're Absolutely. Good to go. It's like who cares at the end of the point, or at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. like, I know it hurts. Like, I would hate to see me comments and stuff.
No,
but...
yeah. I mean, I feel like I've like accomplished a lot, but like, and I'll get like 20 people saying something super nice about a piece, and then I'll have one person say something mean about it, and it just ruins my whole fucking day.
Like, it's just like that keeps coming back.
That pisses me off so much that people go out of the way to throw negative energy when it comes to like you're saying, a piece of you. Like, people don't see art as a piece of someone else. Like, we were talking to a music producer, how like he creates these music for like film or whatever. That's him. Yeah. We're listening to his thoughts, his melodies, and we're looking at your art. Like, that's you. That's your imagination on physical
absolutely. Yeah.
Paper.
Yeah, I mean, but at least in my experience, people are just way nicer than I thought they were going to be. I think it might just be because, like, I don't know. I try to keep it really genuine with my followers. Like, I try to like talk to everybody, even if like just like a random artist that I don't even know messages me and like asks me for help. Like, I'll try to be nice to them and try to help them, like, no matter what. Just because, like, I feel like in the art world there's like this really weird thing where it's like artists don't want other artists to succeed. At least whenever I was younger and I was trying to like make a name for myself and do my thing, like, no one would help me. Like, everyone was just kind of like cold and weird and stuff like that. And then now, like, people will reach out to you and like talk to you and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know, where were you guys back then? You know, it's kind of frustrating for sure. Because I know just like a lot of artists are just, you know, they want to be successful, and they think by like making other artists not successful, it'll be easier for them or something like that.
Right. Yeah, which is crazy. Like, we're all doing like the same thing at the end. We have this passion for art. Like, why shouldn't we help each other out, or like anything really in life? Like, you'll see things like people get into certain businesses or things, and they're like, they want to help. I don't know if it's from like, you know, a genuine place, but they're like, oh, pay this much and I can help you do this. But it's like, if it works and you know what you're doing, like, why not just share that, you know, information for free? Just like, just being kind and, you know, talking to others about it. Like I said, it's all, you know.
I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe that, like, they're just very competitive. I'm very competitive myself, but like, I don't put it into my art. Like, my competitiveness, like, I play like hockey and stuff like that. So that's where I like channel my competitiveness too. Like, but in art, it's like, I feel like we should be more like a community and not just like individuals pushing each other down. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, 100%. Because when it comes to business, everyone's trying to like outprice everyone, right? Lowest prices and stuff. But when it comes to art, everyone should be trying to make everyone win, because art's based on perception. Right. It's all perception. There's no such thing as bad art and good art. There's just like a less amount of people like it. Right. That's the only. There's no good and bad. It's just who likes it and who doesn't.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like art is like one of those things where it's like perceived value. So it's like, and like scarcity, and then also like how like it's really confusing for people, because like I can create something that, like, you know, only took me like an hour to make or something like that, or only took me like one day to make, and I'll sell it for like the same price that like an artist that took like months to make, like another artist will take months to make a single piece, and we'll be selling it for the same price. And like, I just want to like tell them, like, you need to charge more. Like, there's a lot of artists that like undervalue their work. Like, they're just like, and whenever people do that, it just like brings the price down on everyone's art. Like, because then customers expect all art to be cheaper. Because like, I'll see people like, they'll be like $10 commissions. Like, I'll draw anything you want for $10. I'm like, that's good if you're still learning how to draw. But if like you already went to school, like you already know how to draw and stuff like that, like you're just killing other artists when you're doing stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because art is a passion, right? So the price is going to be a premium no matter what, right?
Right.
Because I have an artist friend down in Florida, and he does like crazy art for like charities and stuff. And like that's kind of how he got in the game, was like going to these charity events around all these like super rich people, and they're like, oh, I really like this, can you commission this for me?
Right.
So he'd be selling like $30,000 to $100,000 paintings.
Right.
But then he kind of like started to like go down to like other mediums to like, almost like cheapen his work, where like, oh, I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt now, and oh, I'm gonna put it on pillows, and like I like that because it's an interesting way to keep your businesses going. But I also see it as like, dude, you should just be originals, everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, from an artist perspective, you need to survive. So it's just, I guess it's like balancing those.
It's a weird balancing act, because I think about like exactly what you're talking about all the time, where it's like, because I have like clothing and prints and stuff like that available and everything. But like it's tough because like I need to sell like 20 hoodies to make how much I would make by selling one painting. You know what I mean? So it's like it seems like a lot of time for not a lot of payoff, but like the clothing, almost for me, it just feels like I do it, like I create the clothing and I create the prints and stuff like that, just so like people that like, just like almost like as like entryway kind of thing. So like if someone hasn't like, because some people like aren't to the point where they can be buying art yet, because art is totally like you said, like a premium, you know what I mean? Like unless you're doing well, like it's not something you need, you know? So it's like I create those things just so so people have like something cheaper than like the originals to buy. But then it's also like you said, it does feel like, I don't know, it in some way I feel like it kind of does devalue like original pieces. I don't know. I agree.
Yeah, because what I see is like you can have your originals, but if like your clothing brand, do different prints. Because what I was seeing for my artist friend, he would use his famous prints that everyone loved, right? All the because he would paint famous people. Like he did Motley Crue. Like we had, because I used to work at an art gallery, and he did all these paintings for Motley Crue, and we met Motley Crue, and it was like a VIP party or whatever.
That's cool.
But he took those prints and just put it on luggage. He put it on t-shirts. In my eyes, I'm like, I get it, but why not do some other art for your clothing brand or for the luggage or whatever?
Right. Right. I mean, I like, okay, so I feel like I'll put my stuff on like clothing and stuff like that just because I like clothing. You know what I mean? It's not like just creating another item. Like I like fashion, I like clothing. So that's why I put my stuff on clothing. But it does get kind of weird whenever like I mean, you'll see artists like, and they'll just be like selling like print on demand stuff, and it's just like a floor mat or like a mouse pad.
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking about. It's kind of weird.
I think it's like
kind of
money,
degrading to the art in a weird way.
Shower curtains, you know.
Like like they're just trying to make money in like these random ways. It's like like so you're kind of losing the value and stuff. Like I could see with clothing and stuff, and especially like I feel like graphic tees are huge, or like anything with graphics on it. That's a huge selling point. So people are like, I love this art. I'd love that on a shirt or hoodie or so and so. And then I like what you did, with your name, like your actual brand. I think like there's a difference between like branding and then like how you were saying, Adam, with like your friend just putting his art on all these.
I see what you're saying.
And so like I could see it's like, I don't know. It's just
I think honestly like what, like at least for myself and like I guess maybe my generation of artists is like probably like what kind of started that is maybe like the success of like Shepard Fairey with like Obey, because I feel he was an artist, he was a famous artist, he was awesome and stuff like that, and like people in our world knew about him, but then like he started the clothing thing, and then all of a sudden you're just seeing like just people have no way they've ever heard of Shepard Fairey, but they're wearing the clothes, and you're like, that's pretty freaking cool. Like that his like reach is now so big, and at least like, I mean, from the stuff I've been seeing from him, he's pretty cool. He's like stayed true to like some of his like social causes and stuff like that, which is pretty admirable, because it's like once you get to a certain level of success, I feel like it's easy to just forget about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know that Obey.
Yeah,
I had no clue that Obey was an artist. I
Oh,
actually
really?
never liked the brand because I didn't know it was ironic, right? It's
Right.
He's saying obey because that's what everyone wants you to do, not actually obey.
Yeah,
Right?
right. Yeah, it's like
So
it's
in
like
my head, when
consumer-
I saw that, I'm like, why are you guys wearing that?
yeah, it's like capitalism kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What's interesting is he has some art in the Cosmopolitan. It's a hotel here in Las Vegas. I think I've seen some murals like in the parking garage, and then I
Right.
think there's some other spots. But like I said, he's a big artist, and I think that's when I started noticing more. I was like, oh, that's a clothing brand, and then you just
Right.
kind of look more into it. And so it's like, and it's cool. And like you said, how he was able to reach out that far, and this
Yeah.
clothing brand is a fairly popular clothing brand, and
Yes. Zoomies, that was like, I mean, that's all they had usually.
Yeah, right.
Like
Right.
most of their shit was
And-
obey.
They have a couple of other artists now that have like clothing brands there too. Like I know there's one called Sketchy Tank now there too, and their stuff's really cool. It's like they're like tattooers, and they have like all these like really cool like kind of tattoo inspired stuff with like like skeletons and stuff like that, like stuff that I like, like
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's definitely I buy their stuff all the time. They're all something like that.
This is these are two tattoo artists, and they collabed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I buy a lot of tattoo artists' like clothing.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna change my
yeah.
stance on what I was saying about like the art to clothing.
Mhm.
Like to your point, like I love your clothing brand, like,
Oh,
like the
thanks.
way your stuff looks. But like to the other stuff, we're talking about like the flooring and like the hats or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like just copying what you already had, that's no good. But everything else, I love clothing brands. So
Right. Yeah. Maybe it just comes down to like personal taste. Because like all of my like I wanted to create clothing with my art, but like it had to be like stuff that I would wear. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna create anything that I wouldn't wear. Like you'll never see like a big like some crazy clothes that I wouldn't myself wear.
Yeah.
You see a lot of my stuff is black. That's what I wear. So like
yes, same.
And
I create clothes for myself, and I hope other people like it.
right. And I feel like that's the best way to do it. It's like, what would I wear, and like
Yeah, right.
envisioning that brand and everything, and it's just like, instead of just like, oh, let me just throw my design on a bunch of stuff and see if it sticks, like just kind of go with it, and
Right.
that's definitely
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Man.
Yeah, so actually I bought a painting from Michael, and I wanted to show everyone on the podcast. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, so I'm gonna do a little
shit.
unboxing.
Do a
Awesome.
whole
Podcast.
unboxing. Oh,
Let's
snap.
go.
First time on the podcast. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. We're good. It's a pretty big box, almost bigger than him.
Yeah.
his head barely peeking over it.
Fucking so stoked. And dude, this shit, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
This shit took like a day to get here.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how fast it got there.
Oh, wow. That's actually really dope.
Look at that beauty.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Hell, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, right when I saw it on my feed, I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
Sold. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta get this. Yeah.
There was just
Those-
nothing to
yeah.
think about.
Those giant ones I have to work on in my dad's studio because they would just ruin my apartment for sure.
And this is my favorite type of art. Just go big or go home, man.
Yeah, right?
So
Yeah, it definitely will command the room, whatever room it's in, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Just draw your eyes to it immediately. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's dope.
People might be a little concerned about you, but
Right. So
yeah.
What's this guy into?
Yeah.
But that's a
You can
dope
s-
piece, man. Yeah.
yeah, you can still smell the paint too. I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's how new it is. I mean, I was shook like how fast the painting arrived. I mean, I'm happy it did quickly.
Yeah.
The shipping was expensive as fucking hell, but like that it
Hell
was
yeah.
worth it, man. I mean, if it gets there fast and safe, it's like that, then it's worth it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you so much. It's beautiful.
No problem. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. And just seeing that, what if you don't mind me asking, like, what's your creative process like? Like, how do you like that? Like already, like that's dope. Just to like get your mindset like that. So I would love to hear that if you don't mind.
So I would say 90% of the time, like my paintings are completely like spontaneous. Like I just like choose a palette that I want to work in, and then I like put a canvas in front of myself and I just start working. But for those giant pieces, like, and especially like, so that style, I only use just straight up black paint. Like I don't use white paint. I don't use gray. All the gradients are just based on like how dry the brush is and like the speed of how I'm painting. So how it goes from dark to light is all just based on that. Like I'm not like painting white back over it or anything like that. So those ones, I like the ones that are just like those, like what I was describing. Like I sometimes will like sketch before. I mean, a lot of the stuff I paint, I've spent like years kind of sketching that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really need to sketch stuff before I do it, just because like I stay in like, I do like, I know how to draw or how to paint a skull by now, or like a demon or wings or stuff like that. But I'm always like kind of like trying to learn new things and like slowly integrate them into my art, like different motifs. But it's like, it's hard because I like scary stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff I've always been into. In like any kind of media, like reading books or watching movies or anything, it's always been like horror stuff that I've been into.
Yeah, we've watched a couple horror movies on this cast.
Yeah.
Which
Kendall,
one?
I'm trying to think. What do we watch?
Watched Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
We watched
Fantastic movie.
Really? Okay, I've never seen that.
We watched Possum.
I've never seen that either.
You might be interested. It's very artistic.
It's very artistic.
That's the way to
it's
describe
very
it.
like indie.
Like a super indie film. Yeah, called Possum. And then I feel like we watched one more scary movie. Look at us not remembering our episodes.
Yeah.
Gotta go back in the archives.
Rookie.
Yeah,
Did you
rookie mistake.
No, I've never seen either of those, and I feel like I've seen like every horror movie ever, so that's pretty crazy. I think Trick or Treat's like that. I remember the cover, and it has like, I don't know, like a dude, like the bad guy is like a Chucky kind of thing or something like that.
He has like a pumpkin head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, he has like a big head.
You're gonna love it, man. Like it's my favorite. I watch it every Halloween, and which that's what. Didn't we watch it? Did we watch it for the beginning of October or the Halloween?
I think it was like the Halloween episode.
Yeah, our Halloween episode. And dude, it's just fantastic. So many storylines and it all intertwines.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. And I'm not a big like scary movie person or anything. But this is a weird question. Not really, but how did you get into like horror stuff? Like what drew you to that? Just that kind of like feeling?
I don't know if it's just something that's in certain people that draws them to that kind of stuff. But my dad was like really into that kind of stuff. Like he always had like the old like the Monster magazine thing where like it was like the makeup, the creature from the Black Lagoon, that kind of stuff, like, and we always watched monster and kind of horror movies together, and like The Shining was like one of the first horror movies I ever saw, and Jaws and stuff like that, like 70s horror stuff. The Thing, stuff like that. It's kind of like my first like entries to kind of horror. When I was a kid, I was terrified of horror movies. Like I didn't want anything to do with them. Yeah. But I saw, when I was like maybe like 8 years old, I saw like the original It movie. So good. And it fucked me up for a long time. And then like after that, I was like, oh, these are actually pretty awesome. Like, yeah. And then I went back and rewatched the original It movie, and it was terrible. Like it's so bad. it's like 8 hours long, and like just like I don't know, like the parts with like actual like with Tim Curry in it and like like Pennywise like are good, but like the rest of it's just like kind of like cheesy and weird now. Yeah.
The scene where which kid was his name? Billy, the one with the lisp.
Yeah.
It was like him, and then forget the black dude's name. there's a scene in the old movie and they're like riding the bike together. Like
Mike. I think his name is Mike.
Mike, yeah. And
Yeah.
that scene was like 5 minutes long and just like like a montage of them riding the bike.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
what is it? So I definitely see that.
It's really interesting too, because like Stephen King like famously like hates The Shining, like the movie adaptation of it. And it's like by far the best like movie based on his books ever, and for some reason he just hates it. Like I always thought that was funny because you watch a lot of Stephen King like movie adaptations and they're like not that good.
Shitty.
And then he hates the one that's actually really good. Here, one second.
Hey, you're good. Yeah, that's usually what happens to people. I feel like certain like even like artists or like people who perform and stuff. Their like most popular song or something they hate performing that song.
Right.
It's interesting how that happens. I think it's just kind of like, and like I said, and like as like an art, like you created like that's yourself. So it's like these people are enjoying it, and you're like, I don't like it. So
Yeah.
I rate it. It's interesting to get to that place. Yeah.
I don't have any pieces of my own that I hate at all. Like I think if I did, I just wouldn't show them to people at all. You know, I try to keep it really like I legit don't make art to make other people happy. Like it's all very like selfish and personal. Like
Hell yeah.
if I think it's cool, I'll make it and show it to other people and hopefully they like it. Like I mean like yeah, there's ways to there's ways to kind of make art a profession without, and like if you're like a talented like academic artist, like you can make art a profession without actually liking your art, you know, like you can paint like, and this is no shade at these people because they're like super talented and maybe they do find a lot of passion in it, but like I could never just like paint celebrities all the time. Like I do paint celebrities here and there, but it's only ones that like I absolutely love and like listen to their stuff all the time.
But I see you got a couple art pieces behind you, Nin.
So the witch one is like,
dude, I love that one, bro.
It's like the lighting in here is kind of shit, but yeah, I did a witch one, and then I am working on like another one right here. It's like one of my hounds, like one of my devil dog kind of things.
Man.
Okay. For like a really, really talented tattoo artist around here. He's wanted to commission one because he liked them, and I had already sold the other two that I had painted.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, like having like 3 of those like lined up,
right,
like, on a wall, dude. Woo!
Yeah. I also have this one behind
dope as hell.
the witch too.
Oh yeah, dude.
That one's sick.
There's the devil right there.
Yeah, exactly. See, I wanted to do him justice. I was like, if I'm gonna paint the devil,
yeah.
I'm painting the devil, you know, like
because that's what, right? That's like the embodiment of like a human who is just pure evil.
Right. Yeah, and it's. Hold on one second. I feel like a lot of my art, like you were saying earlier, like is kind of inspired by like the video games I like too. Because I've just been playing like the hell out of the new Demon's Souls. I got the PS5 and I got like a real nice TV, and I was like, I'm getting Demon's Souls, and it is just so hard, but it's super fun. And like I got it because like not even for the gameplay and stuff, but just because like of like the cool monster design. Like I just wanted to see like, you know, what they were up to, and it turned out really good. It's really good. Really good game.
That like world in general too, and just seeing like the just like the castles and, you know, stuff, and just the setting, that dark setting it's in is just really cool. I don't know what to call those. I know there's a word for it.
It's called like dungeon.
Yeah, or dungeon, or
or something like that.
Like,
and just that art style, I don't know. And so I could see like why you'd like to like right up your alley. But those are tough games too.
It's really hard. It's really hard, but it's fun.
It is fun. You definitely
got
to take
looking up tutorials constantly.
Yeah.
How to beat this? Like I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs, like trying to figure out how to beat this.
Dude, that's how I am with Silent Hill. You guys ever play Silent Hill?
Yeah, Silent Hill.
Yeah, for sure.
So good.
And
the monsters.
Is it Silent Hill 3? It's like the most popular one. It's either 2 or 3. That's like still really popular. today with fans. I can't remember. Like I think even like the PS1 version of it is like still like almost like $50 to $100
Oh
just
wow.
for it. I'm like, that's crazy. That's interesting.
For real.
With your art and stuff, do you work with any charcoal work or anything like that? Or
I do have charcoal. So I would sometimes use charcoal before I paint. Like that's all sketch onto a canvas.
Okay.
I usually don't sketch onto a canvas, but for certain things I will. Like I painted Billie Eilish like a week or two ago, and I like had to sketch her out before I painted it. Like I can't just go straight into a portrait without sketching.
Right.
Like so that's what I'll use charcoal for. But I used to love working with charcoal. It's so messy. It would just always break in my backpack.
Yeah.
Like so I like hate it now, because it's the bottom of my backpack, like when I was in college, was just disgusting. It was just charcoal
backpack.
Yeah.
Same when I was in art class, like you would stick your hand in your bag and you come out just like black fingertips. You're like, what?
Yes.
The worst.
Yeah, that's why I hate charcoal, is because it just ruin your backpack.
Right.
Yeah.
The worst.
I miss those those I forgot what they're called, but they're like the black pieces of paper and you like scratch. Are they like scratch?
Yeah.
Scratch boards? Dude, I made some amazing fucking art on those scratch boards.
Yeah, with like the little tool and everything.
Yeah.
You can use for it. Yeah, we used to do those in class. Like you can almost like create kind of like almost like wood engraving art. You know what I mean? Like you can almost create like some like Albert Durr kind of looking stuff.
Oh yeah, do you have any favorite artists?
Yeah. I feel like if you create if you create kind of scary art, we all kind of just love Francis Bacon. I mean, he's like I feel like the godfather of like horror art. Like his art's just incredible. It's like super visceral. Like it's always like it felt like really rawly him, because he was like supposed to have like to be really ill-tempered, and like a lot of his art was like really aggressive. And it's also cool too because he almost like showed that like you can paint stuff that isn't just happy and nice and pleasant to look at, and you can still sell it for like a lot of money and be a professional at it. You know what I mean? Because it and I would say, I don't know, I mean, I feel like Basquiat's like a favorite of everyone, but he's one of my favorites. I won't lean away from that just because he's popular. He's amazing. I like H.R. Giger, like the dude that did all like the alien kind of drawings.
So good.
He's just like, not only for the art that he created, but just like his work ethic is just incredible, because like those pieces just took so long, every single one of them to make. It's just like incredible.
Dude, being on psychedelics and looking at his artwork is just like another level of trippy, bro.
Yeah,
it's like he gets it a little too much.
Yeah. I would recommend anyone does that. Anyone that's listening to this podcast, do not do that, because some of his drawings are pretty phallic, I would say.
Oh yeah, visceral.
like it's very sexual and bizarre.
Yeah, I love it.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
Really mess you up.
It might ruin your whole life if you trip and then look at it.
Hey, do you know I forgot how to say his fucking name. Betsinski?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think he's like from like Poland or something like that.
Dude.
Yeah.
I just got into him like a month ago, because I found his Instagram. Like someone like, he's dead, of course, but someone like reposts his stuff constantly. Like I found out because Marilyn Manson like followed him or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. Yeah. And I was like researching him, dude. This guy has the most craziest artwork, and I tripped on it also. Because dude, back in the day, I used to do psychedelics. I used to try to like make myself have a bad trip.
What?
Guys, I'm like, because I was trying to test myself.
Yeah.
I would listen to horror acid music.
Yeah.
And look at like really dark artwork. That's
the exact opposite of me.
Right? Because like you always hear, oh, it's gonna give you a bad trip. I'm like, watch this. Like it's dumb ego shit. That's like just me and myself understand.
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing to prove, man. Nothing to prove.
But to myself though.
Right, to yourself. I can.
I'm like, look in the mirror, like, you didn't get scared, buddy. Good job. Here's 3 black stars.
Yeah, right.
Since we're on like the topic of psychedelics, I know a lot of people like to I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but there is like people who they use psychedelics to get into their art and things like that. Is that, and you don't have to answer this at all
No.
or anything. Is that something you feel helps you at all in with your art, or is it more just? Yeah, I think it's more natural. I feel.
I feel like I don't need anything to create art. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can be completely sober and I'll create art. Like, the only thing I really need to create art is like the environment around me. I like to just be by myself and kind of creating art. And like just, you know, listening to music or whatever. But I have created art like while tripping on mushrooms for sure. I've never done like acid or anything like that, but I have done like shrooms, and that's the only time I've drawn. And like I would hang out with my other artist friend when we would trip, and like we would draw together and stuff for sure. Oh, yeah. It didn't turn out really cool. Right. It was just kind of lame, but
so the experience was fun.
Yeah, the experience was really fun. I always enjoyed myself, but the art wasn't like noteworthy or anything.
Because I've talked to people and they're like, "Oh, I want to try this to kind of unlock this art in me, or like this art design." And I was like, it could happen, but I was like, I feel like you can just also develop that yourself, you know. And I think it's just more you than.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of people have done that. It's just for me, it's not some. They aren't interconnected. I mean, I will create art while I'm drinking or smoking or doing whatever, but it's not like I have to do it. You know?
Yeah,
right.
100%. Yeah, dude, I've done some crazy art on acid.
Right.
Where like my hands, I would have a pin here in my right hand and then a pin in my left hand, and I would just draw the exactly same shit.
That's crazy.
And I would layer it. To like become one picture, and then it would all be different photos. But if you from afar, it looks like one big picture or whatever. It's trippy shit, and it doesn't even make fucking sense because I'm not even there.
Yeah.
Said I'm not even there. That's funny. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm going back to the because you said you did a Billie Eilish portrait. Did she take notice, or like were you able to
tag
her? That'd been pretty dope.
I have had that happen before, where I've like done something for a celebrity, or not for a celebrity, but I've done something of a celebrity, and they've like reached out to me and stuff like that, and it's like a really cool experience. I can't like go into it though because I'm not allowed to. I really want to, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like I had to sign shit and everything, so I gotta wait a little bit.
Oh, dang.
But that stuff will come out. Like I will be able to tell people eventually, but I just can't yet. But that being said, no, she did not. I don't know if it's like just too freaky for her to like, you know, because like I painted her like as a zombie. I don't know how I feel like she would like that, but I don't know. I mean, that being, and also she's just like so incredibly beyond famous now. It's like once you reach a certain level, I feel like you probably can't even look at your phone or something.
Oh,
right. I can't imagine.
It's just like, like all 24/7s.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Just dick pics and just
just horrible stuff all the time.
Fake Billie Eilish's. It's me. Like
non-verified Billie Eilish accounts. Yeah. But that like just saying just having even just those celebrities reach out to you, like I know and I'm sure same for you, just like I would have been like, no way, like, you know, and kind of like it just the experience of that, like knowing like, man, like, you know, my art's dope, like, you know.
Without saying who like the celebrity is, like they reached out to me, and I like whenever I saw their name like pop up in my DMs, like I just started yelling, like I was just like like just screaming at the top of my lungs, and, like, and I like ran down and like had to tell my girlfriend I was like playing games, and I had to like run down and tell her, and I was just like saying out loud to myself, like before I even opened it up to respond, I was like, don't fuck this up, like don't fuck it up, because like I was totally just gonna like fanboy out and just ruin it, you know. So, and every time I have to like message them, I'm like, don't fuck it up, like you don't have to gush, like, you know what I mean, like don't freak out. play it cool, you know.
Play
like,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. I mean, there's more questions I want to ask, but I know it's got to stay hush hush. But that's pretty dope. One thing I do want to ask is when did you decide decide to sell your pieces? Like, what was kind of like that progress into that, and when you felt comfortable, I guess.
That's so I been creating art for forever, but there was like definitely a moment. I mean, I I would say probably like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, my girlfriend got me like because I had been just like sketching for a long time and just like working on my school stuff or like working on my tattoo stuff. Like I tattoo is like that's my job, my daytime job, and like I had just been doing that stuff, and then she got me like a set of canvases and some paint for my birthday, and I was just like, what, like let me give this a shot, So I painted a couple of things and like just posted them, and like people actually wanted to buy them, and I was like, oh, maybe people will actually like this stuff. So I was like, I'll just like put it up for sale, and then because like if you look at my like Instagram account, like a long time ago, maybe like a year or two ago, my whole account was just like my tattoo work, and then now I'll post a picture even just in my story of like my tattoos, and people will be like, oh, I didn't even know you were a tattooer, and I'm like, yeah, that's like my job. I just expect everyone to kind of like everyone knows that, but I think everyone now knows me more for painting, which is super cool. Like I'm definitely happy about that.
Oh, dude, yeah, like I didn't know you were a tattoo artist.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't even know. So do you still tat?
Yeah, I tattoo
rad.
probably like 4 or 5 times a week. I only really do like stuff I want to do anymore. Like a lot of like I only do black and gray. I only do stuff that's like in my style, like skeletons, snakes, demons, floral stuff. I really like doing flowers and stuff like that. But it's pretty much Nero kind of stuff, but as tattoos. And then if like a friend wants something or like a word or something like that, I'll do it too.
Yeah. We should definitely set something up, dude, because that would be sick.
Wait, where I forget where we mark your package to. What area do you live in?
So I'm like an hour from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And I'm just out here working, so.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Yeah, you should come down. We could do something.
Yeah, because you guys are like 2 hours away.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You could.
That's why it was so fast.
I got right.
Wait,
yeah, exactly.
I could just came to your house.
I could have drove with you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hung out.
We could have just met halfway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm new to the East Coast because I'm from Vegas. We went to school together, me and Kendall.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like still new to like where I'm at. Like I have no recollection of like states on the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, everything's like way closer than it seems. The only problem is like on the East Coast, like especially like in, I guess you don't really have it because you're in Ohio, but once you get closer to like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, New York, everything like that, it's like it's like really hilly, everything. So like drives take forever. Whereas like when I was in California, like we went out there a couple of years ago and it was just like everything's so flat and the roads are so nice that like you can get somewhere super fast. You know what I mean? But like here, everything's a hill, so it just takes forever to get anywhere.
Dude, West Virginia sucks. I've worked in West Virginia in the back country, dude. Like in the backwoods of fucking West Virginia, where you're like, how do you live here? Like what? You drive 2 hours to get some food? Like what are you doing? Why do you have a dump?
I would love to live somewhere like that, honestly. I would love to get just as far away as possible, but I just feel like it's not like not professionally feasible. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like connected to like it's nice living where I live because I live like 1 minute from the post office, and I can send stuff. Whereas it would suck to have to make like a day trip just to send stuff. I can't imagine.
Right, like I said, like driving 2 hours just to go get some food. Like I barely want to go to a store that's like 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah, right.
Oh god. Right. I really don't want to get in my car and drive. Oh, man, but
Dude.
yeah, definitely feel that. And that's really dope, man. With tattooing, because I know you said you do like you have your style of tattoos. How does that affect business? I mean, I'm sure it doesn't, but I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of people who love that style
Right.
that you know you are able to cater to that style. But
Right.
I'm sure there's those people who are like, hey, can you do this? And you're like,
I just don't respond, honestly. Like, yeah, I know people that so I feel like it's screwed up because there's a lot of people I just don't respond to just in general. And then there's some of my like friends and clients that message me and I just don't see it. And I don't want them to think that I'm ignoring them. It's just I just don't see it, you know? So it's like I try to like I'll be like, please, like here's my cell phone number. Please contact me on there because like I try, you know, Instagram and Facebook is just like shit show for sure.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, like I feel like I'm as busy as I would want to be. Like I wouldn't want to be any more busy than I am with tattooing because I just tattoo by day and then paint at night, you know,
Dude.
and then play Demon Souls.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And that
Living the
leftover
life.
time, yeah.
Living a life. Oh yeah, and then back to the point of like you getting like reached out by like an artist and you like freaking out like fanboy. That's what happened when you were like, "Yo, let's do this podcast." I said, "What?" Running up and
so
down the
crazy.
hallway.
That's crazy that I guess me saying yes to something has that effect on anybody. I guess to me.
Hell yeah.
But that's
Fucking
really cool
fangirling over here.
and nice and whatever. But yeah, I mean, I it's crazy that I did this just because like I hate hearing myself talk and I like hate being videotaped. I hate giving away like any of my own privacy, you know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you seemed really cool, so I was like, yeah, I'll fuck it, I'll do it.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone every once in a while. Like on my fucking art Instagram, I try not to post any of my personal shit just to like, I don't know, just to keep some distance from it. But
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I have to push myself more that way to share more, I guess, like personal stuff. So I feel like this is like probably a good start to doing that.
Right.
Oh yeah, dude.
No, yeah, definitely. I definitely feel you on. I hate hearing my own voice. Like when I go back, I like crack jokes. I'm like, dude, I sound like Napoleon Dynamite or something when I'm talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Like,
Which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh, one of my favorite movies. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's overrated. Just saying.
Oh, dude, what
I'm
a
saying it right
hater,
now
bro.
on this cast.
Oh man. I love watching it and just quoting the movie. Like,
yeah,
people probably hate it to watch.
I have some people in my life that are very much like Napoleon, so that's why I love it so much because it's just like I relate to it just so hard.
Yeah.
I get it.
The karate and everything.
Yeah, the karate.
The Rex Kwando.
Yeah, Rex Kwando. I actually want to be him for Halloween one year. Maybe this year. I'll get the American sweatpants and the bandana. And get the glasses. Oh, that would be dope. I think that might be the move.
So you guys did like a Halloween podcast. What did that entail?
So what you dressed up as a?
Oh, I just threw something together. I had some. I think my sister had this like purple wig, so I threw that on, and I just kind of made myself this emo boy. Had like runny eyeliner, like I just like got done crying or something. So
and then I just painted my face as my girlfriend painted my face as like a skull, and I wore my fucking nice hat, so it looked kind of like a scarecrow.
Yeah.
Kind of like just like a goth kid.
Yeah.
Pretty basic stuff.
Pretty basic. But like that episode was a lot of Halloween stuff. We even was it that episode we did we talked about there was this study of the I forget who did it, but supposedly like the most scary movie or the scariest movie by this they did it by your heart rate or something like that. So they I want to say was it The Conjuring? Was it that was the number one?
The Conjuring.
Yeah, and
I feel like another one that like I saw like someone posted something like that, like the scariest, like I guess they're doing like scariest movies, and I think they're doing like scariest like blockbuster movies because there's obviously like some like snuff horror films that are definitely gonna be scarier, but it's like who the hell wants to watch
real
that?
Stuff?
Right.
Yeah,
some real stuff right there.
Yeah, but like there was one that had a really good movie on it that I'm searching for the name right now. They had it number one. It's like the one with like where like it almost is like a snuff film. Like you see the snuff films of like the kids. Like, but I shouldn't give away too much.
Oh, VHS.
Sinister.
Oh, Sinister. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
Sinister
movie
was really
me.
good.
Yeah.
And that
Good
one,
too,
the
yeah.
snuff film parts of that one like really freaked me out the first time I saw it for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dude, all that was like all in the year, like Insidious, Conjuring, like all those. Did you guys see Insidious?
Yeah, amazing.
Dude, all those movies, they were just like winning with the horror, bro.
Right.
It just kept on coming out because that was like the highlight of horror. Because horror used to be like a joke, right?
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
you couldn't really make a really good horror movie, and I really wanted to get in film to make a good horror movie.
Yeah. Well,
That was like,
I feel like it goes through like, it's like an ebbs and flows kind of thing. So it's like, I feel like the 70s were kind of like late 60s, early 70s were like a good time for horror movies. Like you have like The Thing coming out and like Texas Chainsaw and like the original Halloween, like stuff like that, like really good stuff. Hellraiser. So I think Hellraiser was 70s or 80s. I can't remember. But anyways, like there was like golden era. And then I feel like the 90s and 2000s were kind of terrible as far as horror movies go.
I mean,
like
Saw.
I mean, but there were some highlights like Saw and like The Ring. I feel like is maybe one of the best horror movies of all time as far as like storytelling goes.
Yeah,
I feel like The Ring is really good. The Grudge, yeah. Like there, like some Japanese horror was like introduced that was really good.
What was the camera one? Shudder.
Shudder was good too.
I think it was a Korean film or something originally, but that one was scary. The original one, I remember.
Have you ever seen The Wailing? Have any of you guys seen that? It's
No.
it's like a I think a Korean like horror movie. It's on Amazon, I think, or HBO, one of those two.
Okay.
And it is incredible. It's my favorite horror movie of all time, and it's like newer, but like it like how we were talking about like I don't want to give away too much because you really should watch it, but it's like the personification of like the devil and kind of like not knowing if people are actually evil or not. And then like there's even like some parts that have kind of like zombie-ish kind of stuff in it if you like that kind of stuff. But and like also like there's like some undertones of like xenophobia and stuff like that in it that's really interesting, like because it's like the basic premise of the movie is that it's like a Korean town. I think it's Korea, and it's like a small town, and then like these people end up like they keep like finding like these dead bodies in this town. Like these police officers keep finding these dead bodies, and it's like it correlates to like the time whenever like this like old like loner like this Japanese man like moved into their town, and I guess like you think, oh, they're all just being like kind of racist because he's like Japanese and not Korean. But then you kind of like learn more about him. It's really interesting. It should have got more credit than it did, but it's like it's super well shot if you care about that kind of stuff too. Like,
I do.
It's like beautiful, like one of those kind of movies.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to get into film and stuff like that. So I do love cinematography and things like that. So I'll enjoy that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like one of me and Kendall's favorite studios is A24.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, yeah. Midsummer.
They're awesome.
Hereditary. Fucking The Witch.
The Witch. Woo! Oh my gosh, The Witch is like where you can weed out your friends. Because I went to go see The Witch with like a lot of my friends, and me and my one friend were blown away. We loved it. We thought it was amazing, and everyone else in the theater booed. Like we're at a sports game. Like the movie ended, and people were just like boo, like as if someone was gonna hear it. Like as if the creators were gonna hear it. But like people hated it. But I was like, that was awesome.
Really?
Like that was so good.
Yeah, for real.
One of my all-time faves.
Yeah, dude, fantastic movie. It was beautiful. I mean, the one thing I didn't like about it was the accent, because it's hard to understand the dialogue as
like
much.
Old Englishy kind of stuff.
But I mean, it fit. So I can't get too mad about it. But dude, the theme of it, the suspense, the almost the sexism.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought that was really interesting how they tied like the sexism and nature and stuff like that together, and how like, it was like kind of like the worst part of the movie was like how her parents started turning against her kind of thing. You know what I mean? Which like it's a different spin on horror for sure. Like the horror was like inside of their own family. Kind of thing.
Exactly.
And not out in the woods, but it was inside of their own kind of like shelter.
Right. Is The Void, is that A24 as well? That
I don't
film.
know.
Have you guys seen that? The Void.
I don't know.
I think I started and fell asleep.
That one was trippy. I don't know. There's just like a lot of stuff going on. It was like
Did you see Killing of a Sacred Deer?
no, haven't seen that.
That's A24, I think. I think it
A24.
is, and it's like it might not be, but it's definitely like one of those art house kind of movies, and it has like Colin Farrell and people like that in it. But it's like super super messed up and supernatural, but it's like really well shot if you like that kind of stuff.
Have you seen Antichrist?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, I saw that when I was really young. It messed me
I have
up.
a tattoo.
Yeah,
Dude, I literally got a
Willem
tattoo.
Dafoe, yeah.
Chaos reigns.
Yeah,
Dude, that's my life motto, bro.
yeah.
That movie blew my fucking mind, bro.
Isn't that's the one where they had to like take out Willem Dafoe's penis, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He had to like put some. Like, it's been forever since I watched it in college.
Yeah.
But I just remember it something with his penis, and he had to like put something in it. It was like some heavy weight. And he was like crawling.
I think his his actual penis was just so big it was like upsetting or something.
I
think
like
they had to edit it out of the movie.
That's why he's such a good actor, dude. He's like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good
he
to
was
go.
good in The Lighthouse too. The Lighthouse was pretty good.
I still need to see The Lighthouse actually.
The Lighthouse. I'm mixed. I'm mixed.
I just like the scenes where Willem Dafoe had to fart. I thought that was really funny. Where he would just be talking and be like, "Just bad luck for a seaman to curse a Gaul," and then he would just like fart super loud, and like since like the audio, like they tried to do everything like correct to the time, like the farts would just like echo and just be super loud. And I just thought that was so funny. Like it was like such like it threw off the pace of the movie in like the right way. It was really funny.
I'll have to check it out because I've been wanting to watch it. I'll have to watch that. That seems pretty funny. But I mean, since we're on the topic of films, I mean, our film this week wasn't an A24 film. But yeah, we mentioned it in the beginning, The Little Things. So just kind of like non-spoiler before, like so people can know. So we're about to get into spoilers if you guys want to watch it. But just basically what we have are characters Denzel Washington, you have Jared Leto, and then I keep forgetting his name. You guys said it earlier. But yes. But what was your guys' thoughts on it? What do we think?
Well, I thought the ending was really interesting. So, like, basically, hold on, I'm like putting my charger in. My phone's about to die. But
You're good.
so like, because I was like painting while I was watching it, and like I didn't really understand what happened. So I like rewind it and watched it a couple times to like really understand it. But so like Denzel, like, so the one girl that goes missing is like wearing like a red bow in her hair, right? And their parents say that she's wearing a red bow in her hair. And then at the end, after, you know, Rami, who's like the good cop, like after he makes the mistake of killing that dude without knowing if he was the killer or not, and he's like kind of feeling bad about it, like Denzel sends him a red bow and says it was in that dude's belongings to kind of make him feel like, okay, I did kill the killer.
Right.
But then it shows you at the end that Denzel had just went out and bought a bunch of red bows, like a package of red bows. so you still don't know, but you know, like at least Denzel was like looking out for him.
Yeah, like there was that small moment when he opened the package and you saw the red bow. You're like, oh, so it was him. Like, that's, you know, it ties in. Like, so you get that moment of happiness for a second, and then it cuts to Denzel and the package, and you're like, wait a minute. Oh my gosh.
I feel like Denzel has reached this point where he just plays himself like in every movie. He's just kind of like older, just kind of miserable, kind of cold. You know, like he's just super cold and miserable, I feel like, in everything he's in. Right. I don't know. That's just who he is now, I guess.
Personally, I didn't like Denzel's performance.
Right.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I think the best performance was Jared Leto.
Oh,
hands fucking down.
Jared Leto.
I didn't even know that was I knew Jared Leto was in this movie, but the character, he totally transformed. It wasn't him. Like he was it blew my fucking mind.
Right, he was awesome.
And then he didn't come till what, like almost halfway.
Oh yeah.
You didn't see him. It was basically just Denzel and the other guy. And then but because the whole time you're trying to figure out why everyone knew Denzel's character, why they knew him, and then it was kind of like going into that background.
Like he had a bad background or something happened. Yeah.
Some sexual tension.
Yeah.
Girls he talked.
Right, that's what you're thinking. Like maybe he did something, I don't know, crazy or whatever.
Yeah, right. And throughout the whole movie, he keeps saying it's the little things that get you caught, and it's like the way he was saying it was almost like he was the bad guy, kind of like, like that's what gets you caught, like for doing something bad, and not it's the little things that get you caught, as in. Yeah, it's a little. I use the little things that people do to catch them. You know what I mean? Like the way he was saying it sounded like he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And like saying
he could have been. He could be the killer, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the options.
They left it so open for you to really be like, who is the killer? Because at a point, it's like, yeah, Jared Leto's character did some really weird things, and like it kind of added up to it being him. Because even the scene when the dude's like digging the hole, he takes him out to the that abandoned area or whatever in the desert. He's digging holes and he's behind him, and he does like because he's about to kill him, the detective. So I'm like, I was like, I feel like Jared Leto is this killer, and just like everything. I don't know. I'm super into detective movies. And
you feel like if he has the guts to like abduct a cop and then take him out to the middle of the desert and have him dig some stuff up, it's like, okay, he has the guts to kill someone probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's that type of guy.
Yeah. I felt like that's what the director really took us on a ride, right? And they made up our mind. It's Jared Leto. It has to be. Just with him turning his back to see who was there, right? He was like,
and
we were like, it's him. Like, turned around. He's probably just like, who came in? Do we got some work? Right? Like, so they just made it just 100%. Right when he came on set, we're like, it's Jared. Let's go.
Well, yeah, and it's also one of those things.
Convict him.
If you watch other like any kind of like cop drama or anything like that, whenever they're doing like trying to solve a case, and then comes some other famous person that wasn't in it before, you're like, okay, that's probably the killer.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like they probably got a really good famous actor to play the killer, so you're like, okay, that's him. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you watch anything like that, any kind of cop show, and it's like kind of a dead giveaway whenever they bring another celebrity into the movie, you know?
Right. And oh, sorry, my fault.
No, you're good.
I was saying, and it kind of gave him, he had that like serial killer persona or profile, I guess, where like obsessed with the case, you know, always listening to, like he was up to date with like the police scanner, like the Zodiac, exactly. And when they showed him the pictures, he got aroused, you know, like things like that. And he was just like, they gave him that. So it's like all like signs were like, this is the guy, like whether or not we want it or not, this is the guy. And like, I appreciate the openness of it, like I said at the end, because then you're like, well, who was that even him? Like, or could it have been someone else?
It kind of felt like
stereotypes.
Yeah. It felt like my favorite movie of all time is No Country for Old Men. Like hands down favorite movie of all time.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like it felt like a mix of that and almost like Seven, kind of like. I think it was just because they drove out to the desert at the end, and there was like going to be like a reveal that it felt like Seven, like he was going to open up the box, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
what's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? Yeah, exactly. But I liked the movie. I thought it was good. Like I didn't think it was like, you know, I feel like if you like the movie, like if you feel like you wasted your time, then it was a bad movie, and if you didn't, it was a good movie. You know, like and if a movie like, because I feel like it at least challenged your expectations. Of what a cop drama should be, and it was good. So I felt like it was very much like, I feel like the cop thing is like so played out. It's like I just roll my eyes every time I'm like watching like sports or something, and then you see like an ad for like a new cop show, and you're like, oh my god, like, they've beaten it to death. Like please, like we're good. Like
so we're good. We have enough of those.
They should have left it at just Reno 911.
Yeah,
more cop shows.
The only cop things should be Reno 911 and probably like the first season of True Detective.
Oh, and Dexter.
Dexter, yeah. Oh my god, Dexter. That movie. They're coming out with a new season, I think. Are they?
What?
I think they're coming out with a new
I
season of
heard
Dexter.
something,
No.
Yeah.
They teased it or something like
They
that.
teased
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I think would be interesting because the ending was kind of like, open-ended.
I dig the ending. He's like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
done with this life.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna chop some wood.
Right.
Go chop some-
Right.
I'm gonna chop
Spoiler
some-
alert.
Yeah.
that was that. There's two shows that have endings that people hate that I like, that I actually like the ending. Like, people hate the ending of Dexter, which I thought was okay, and people hate the ending of Lost, which I also think was okay. It's like, how are they ever going to end those shows? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's no good way to end them, because people hate the endings because they just wanted to keep watching it for forever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's why people hate the endings.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, exactly. And then if they kept it going for too long, then people would be like, oh, they should have ended it back then. And it's like, there's no winning.
Can't win.
Yeah,
you can't win with those high profile shows that are just phenomenal. You just can't win. There's nothing.
No.
You just have to go with.
Right. I mean, I love those like type of dramas though. I'm always there for like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just like a weird twisted thing humans are into, like I'm not into, but like serial killer, just the mystery of these serial killers, and like that's why like Zodiac, you brought up one of my top favorite movies. And like probably my favorite serial killer, as sick as it sounds, but like just the mystery of it, and just not knowing like who, like you have an idea who it could be, but it's still, you're not sure of it. And then just the crazy, it could have been multiple people, or like, and just those dramas. And that's why I like The Little Things as well, because it just kind of left that open-endedness for you, and like gave you enough of that thriller and intensity, like, oh, who, like what's going on.
That's the podcasts I'm drawn to for sure, or like murder podcasts, not just murder podcasts, but like mystery kind of stuff. Like, I feel like right now, like, the stuff I'm getting into is do you know about like the missing 411 stuff?
No.
You don't know about that?
I feel like I have
get
like
into that.
Idea.
So like there's like this whole thing that like there's this retired detective that is going around looking into all these cases, because there's a lot of people going missing inside of national parks, which is something like, because I like hiking a lot.
Right.
And there's a lot of these stories of like people going missing in national parks. And for whatever reason, when people go missing in national parks, like it doesn't really get investigated because of like, because it's a national park and it's like run by the rangers, like they don't really look into it. And there's a lot of like supernatural undertones to it of like the people going missing, because like it'll be like the people went missing, or this person went missing, but all they found were like his shoes. And it's like, why would someone that's like lost in the wilderness take off their shoes and just leave them somewhere? You know what I mean? It's like just kind of weird, interesting stuff like that. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I've been watching recently, is like missing 411 stuff. And you can find a lot of content on it, and like a movie about it, because it's like still going on.
I know about that. There's actually this story. I'm probably gonna butcher it. I'm just gonna try and like get the gist of it. But I think it was either sister and brother, or girlfriend and boyfriend. They drove out somewhere on some road, and I think they ended up pulling over, or like the boyfriend started acting weird, pulled over, and he ended up just kind of like he like ran out into like the darkness, just ran. And like, so the girlfriend's left alone in the car, and then something happened. I think the girlfriend went missing too. No, I don't know. Either way, like I said, I'm kind of butchering it, but either way, it was one of those missing 401 things. They're not sure like what happened to the boyfriend, where he went. All you have is just the car. That's it.
I know there was a case in like the missing 401 things I watched, because like I'm by no means an expert. I'm just like, I shouldn't say fan, because that's the wrong word. I'm not like happy about these people going missing, but like I'm like I find them interesting.
It's interesting.
You know what I mean? And it's like there was like this one case of like this girl, she like just was like, she lived at her parents' house, and she like went out for the day to like go to school or something like that, and it was just like she just drove her car, like she was on the highway, and like she just parked and then just got out and just went out into the wilderness, and then just never came back. And like that's and like she wasn't like someone with like mental issues, she was like happy, and then she just walked into the woods and was gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
in the missing 411 thing. There's the stuff that interests me the most is like they'll have people that go missing, and then they find them and the people have no idea where they were the whole time that they were missing.
Dude,
like they were abducted by aliens or something like that. Like they have, like their memory has been erased.
That's
which is
true.
so interesting.
Dude, that happened in Colorado. This guy went fucking skiing. I don't know if you guys heard
Oh,
about
I
this.
know this one. I know this
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
this guy went skiing with his friends, right? And then he just disappeared. Right?
Yeah.
And then I fucking forgot.
They found him years
They
later. It was like months or years later in like California or something like that, in like a warm weather state, and he still had his skiing gear on.
Yeah, like it was
What?
dude, it was some creepy ass shit where it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And dude, so for my girlfriend's birthday, which was last week, I got her this thing called Unsolved Case Files. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I got that. It's like a game thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Kinda like
subscription or
board game
whatever.
Subscription. Yeah,
I need to
I
get
got
that.
that.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, these are real cases too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this one's about a blazing fire that broke out in a cabin at a rehab center, and a chart of a body of an unidentified female was found underneath the structure. So someone fucking buried a body at a rehab center.
Oh my god.
What the?
That's great.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah,
how
that-
interesting it like that's a subscription. Like people
Yeah.
like detectives or whatever is like, let's give this to the people.
Yeah.
Let's see if we
Yeah,
can
it is like
solve
an
things
internet
here.
sleuth kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
I'm not at that level because
Nah.
like I just like listening to the podcast while I paint, you know, because it kind of, it's dark, it's spiritual, kind of like that
Right.
mystery kind of thing. Like it just fits the vibe of my art. But yeah, there are definitely people that I feel like have helped on cases and stuff like that just because they're just completely obsessed and like they're just like searching all the time, and they have more time than like detectives who have other cases and stuff like that. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, no more overtime, but that's good for them.
Yeah.
but
Give it
no,
to the
I'm,
people.
I'm definitely the same. I love that. I just love the mystery of it. Like it's a point like I want to know the mystery of it, but then I also don't. I'm like in the middle. Like same thing. I mean, me and Adam talked about like my view on aliens. Like I just like the mystery of it.
Right.
Whether it's real, whether it's not.
Right.
I just like the unknown part. I
Right.
guess. Yeah. So I'm the same way, and that it's weird how it's just so gripping. Like you're like, oh shoot, like it draws you in, and
Right. Yeah, for sure.
very interesting.
It's almost like when you find out the actual answer, you're kind of like let down.
You're let down, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
I'd
the
rather
build
just be a
up.
mystery.
Yeah. Right. Just keep me on the build up. Yeah.
Yeah.
just keep me right there.
Yeah, it like almost always lets me down whenever I'm watching like a serial killer documentary, and then you end up finding out who it is, and the serial killer is just like totally like a loser, like a giant
Yeah,
loser,
lame-o.
and you're like, oh, this guy's just like, like this whole time you're like like I don't know, picturing it to be like someone so crazy
Like
and
Ramsey.
like everything he's doing is for a purpose for him and everything, and then you find out that he was just like a total creep that was just like,
Yeah.
you know, a loser basically, you know, and you're just
just-
like, ah.
He just wanted to see someone naked for
Yeah.
once, you know?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, maybe if I just kill him, I can, you know?
Yeah.
There's this game, Watch Dogs. I don't know if you guys heard of it or played
know
it.
it
The
is,
hacking one. There's this mission, this side quest or whatever, where you're like following these murders, and it's like all over the city and stuff. And there's like different, is it murals? Is that the word I'm looking for? Like pretty much like these like this serial killer going on this rampage, and he like paint stuff with blood and like leaves their like limbs and like crazy messed up scenes. So you're like finding all these different areas with those scenes, and it's like the hype is just like getting built up, and then you finally find the guy, and he's in this like trailer park, just like some like
Yeah.
random like dude, like
Right.
just some random NPC, and you're like, ah man, that buildup was crazy, and this is
Yeah.
it. This is the end. And like you just beat him up real quick, like it's super easy.
punches. KO.
Okay. But for Stray Too Far, what would you guys give if you were to rate the movie?
Out of what?
Like anything, just if you know, or out of 10, if you want to do that, yeah.
Okay.
So you guys had to.
Out of 10, I'd probably give it like maybe like a 6 or a 7. Like, and that's good. Like it was good, but
Right.
it's not something I'll probably watch again. But I liked it. Like I enjoyed it enough. I feel like.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I give it a 6 also. I mean, It was very good. It was very interesting. I like how they left it open. Jared Leto destroyed the performance, but it was definitely just kind of like a subpar kind of movie. That nothing was too crazy, but
there was
I
no
mean,
one
it
to
was
root
interesting.
for. Yeah, there's no one to root for either. Like, I feel like there's no real good guy in the movie, which is cool. It's cool in its own right. I feel like, you know, it's like a more modern take on that kind of stuff. But I agree with you. Like, I feel like it's a 6 and it could have been better, but it's better than most things in a weird way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. I'll just say 7, but kind of same thing. It just I like I said, entertaining movie, wasn't perfect, wasn't bad. I was along for the ride. Acting, like I said, Jared Leto was amazing. I would hope he gets some sort of award this year.
He actually got nominated.
He got nominated.
Oh really?
Yeah. Just the depths he went to get into that character, like that, I applaud him for that. So I give it a like I said, give it a 7. Entertaining, like you said, probably wouldn't watch it again. You know, something to jump back. Maybe years from now, I'll be like, oh, if it's on somewhere, I'll be like, oh,
on TV.
Yeah, on TV, I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it was definitely an interesting film. So yeah, on HBO Max, if you guys got it, you know, check it out. Yeah. So.
Yeah, get on HBO Max because it's popping on there.
Yeah, a lot of more movies this year.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
I think it'd have been funny if we'd have done the whole podcast and like never just talked about my art at all. Like if I would have just told like gone on Instagram and told everyone to like watch this podcast or whatever, and they're like all excited to see stuff about like me talking about my art. And we just talked about like King Kong the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
I mean, we could have.
We could have, yeah.
We could have. Just be a broadcast.
I think I definitely want to do the podcast again. I had a good time. Sometime in the future we should do it again. I know like this upcoming year I'll definitely be having like another like art show kind of thing. So maybe we could do it around then or something like that, or around Halloween or something, just to kind of plug it kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah, we everyone who's come on, we've loved, and you know, including you, like awesome, like seeing like your art and everything, and then just like talking to you and just getting to know you. Definitely enjoyed that, and would love to have you on.
Yeah, you guys are good at podcasting for sure.
Yeah, we could do like a live show maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be fucking sick.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I could put
a little event.
As you know, probably one of the last questions, but as you know, I'm sure many of your, you know, people who follow you and stuff, they're, you know, into art and, you know, in their certain ways. And then, you know, coming from me, you know, who draws, but like kind of fell out from it. What advice would you give people, you know, just starting out, or like, just kind of, I mean, nothing, you know, too deep, but just kind of like, hey, like, you know.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's hard for me to give people advice because I'm like only like 24 years old, and I feel like I'm not like old enough to tell people what to do. I don't have the life experience. However, I feel like if I were to give people advice, I would just say, just like, if you're an artist, like you have to do it like every day. Like you can't just like do it for a couple months, get good momentum, and then give it up and just work. Like there's every excuse in the book not to do it, you know, but you just gotta just find some time, even if it's just like 15 minutes, to just make it. And another thing is like, especially with like social media and stuff like that, it's like social media is like super unhealthy, and it's like don't compare yourself to other artists. Don't be like, why is this person doing so good and like I'm not, that kind of thing. Because if you just create good art, like people will follow you, people will come, like people will like your thing, like your stuff, and buy your stuff. Like just make art that's like genuine to yourself, and try to make art as much as possible. Like don't. And another problem I think artists have and musicians have, and anyone that creates any kind of content, is they create something and then they like tinker with it and analyze it so much that they never end up even putting out the material, or they put out just so little material, you know. Like just create something like when it's like raw and in the moment, and just put it out there. Like don't tinker with stuff, don't like waste time, like, because if you get too meticulous, like, and you keep editing something, it like isn't as raw as whenever you first created it, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that, man. And knowing like you're 24 and killing it, man.
Almost
Just-
25. Yeah, almost
Oh,
25.
sorry.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, like you said, and I just feel like wisdom from anyone is always good. And like I said, it's hard. Like I feel like even people older than us, they probably like these kids don't really understand. But it's like,
Right.
yeah, man, if it's to help people, I just listen. And I don't take anything. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned
upset
a lot
you.
of stuff. I paid a lot of money to learn the stuff I know. I mean, like I went to college for 4 years, for art and stuff like that. So got a lot of money going out. I've paid for, separate classes to learn how to do things better and stuff like that. And it's like the information I've gathered, like I would love to just, give that information to people, for free. That'd be cool too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I definitely appreciate that and appreciate you coming on here and like, hanging out with us. Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys are super cool. I mean, if you're ever in the Pittsburgh area or even want to just make a trip out, like I got a futon. Feel free, just let me know.
Hey, appreciate it.
You can live. Yeah, you can see how I live. You can see how I get high and draw and and I'm not high when I tattoo. That's the only time I do not get high when I tattoo. Let me make that straight. And you can watch me play Demon Souls.
Right. Yeah, dude. I got some mushies. We could trip out.
Yeah.
Some demons or something. I don't know.
Well, definitely, man. Is anything like so you do have you said an art show coming up this year?
Well, yeah,
so-
I haven't like set it in stone or like anything like that, but I am in talks with like a gallery, like a really cool local place about like doing something next year. I'm hoping like I want to do it around like Halloween time next year, wherever it is.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm thinking around then.
Oh yeah.
That'd be dope, man. Any so to find you on social media, you are on like Instagram?
Yeah, I would
know-
say the best place is just Instagram right now. I mean, I have TikTok as well,
Okay.
but my most polished like stuff is on Instagram. It's just like at Nero _art_Inc. The only like the project I guess I'm doing right now that I would want to plug if anyone has any interest at all is just that it's like super cold where I live and gonna be super cold next week, like 5 degrees kind of thing. And I just wanted I started doing like these jackets. Like I bought a bunch of jackets and I'm just like painting on the back of them and selling them. And if someone buys one, basically I buy another one and then just I'm gonna like donate them to like people in need, homeless people and stuff like that in my area.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is,
Yeah.
that is
It's a good
awesome.
cause.
That's the project I'm working on now. So just if you have any interest in those kind of jackets, like they're all hand painted,
Mhm.
one of a kinds, like kind of thing, then yeah, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah. I'll definitely buy one.
yeah.
Oh,
I'll-
yeah,
I'll
thanks,
look
man.
into
Yeah,
that
thanks.
too as
Send
well.
some
And then-
cash.
Yeah,
Post-
I appreciate. I mean, even if people didn't buy them, I was probably gonna just buy some and donate them anyways. But
Mhm.
it is cool for like I feel like other people just to like learn like, okay, if I spend a little bit of money, I can also like give. It can also be giving to someone else, kind of thing,
Right.
And so because I feel like during the pandemic, like everyone's become like super self-centered and like everyone is just like trying to save themselves, which I mean I kind of understand. Like we're in weird times, but like I feel like people like like they're disadvantaged have like been like forgotten about during this whole thing for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome cause, man. Yeah, definitely look into that. And definitely we'll tag you in once we post this and people can find out and look into that as well too.
Awesome. All right, well thanks guys. I gotta run off and meet a couple people and talk to a couple guys. So
Okay, yeah.
I'll be in contact though. We should do another show sometime, even if it's before that Halloween.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
we could review
definitely,
King
yeah,
Kong.
Yeah,
we can review King Kong. Yeah, we did talk about
that.
We'll give the real podcast.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Well, yeah, man. Thanks again for the
Yeah, thanks
art.
too,
I
man.
love it.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for
supporting.
coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, hell yeah,
All
man.
right, guys.
Look,
All
dude.
right, man.
It was nice to meet you too, Kendall and
Yeah,
Adam.
Nice to meet you, Michael. Take care, man.
See you guys.
Have fun. See ya.
Clap your hands once, clap your hands twice. Now is the time for the news to hear it comes. Clap your hands once, clap your hands twice. Open your arms to